All right. Jeskai Ascendancy combo. So Jeskai Ascendancy, for people not familiar with it, this is a card that has some combos based around it in Modern. It's a 3-color enchantment here that says, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you untap all creatures you control. They get 1/1. You also draw a card and then discard a card. So we're going to combine this with the card Sylvan Awakening that makes all of our lands 2/2 elementals with reach, indestructible, and haste till end of turn. So basically the idea is we play this on 3, and then we can play this on 4 and immediately cast a 1-mana spell to untap our lands and make them bigger, and then we chain through casting some other spells to make our lands big enough to be lethal, which is sweet. Do you think aggressively managing ban means unbanning things for like 2 weeks if they think they banned the wrong card? Yeah, it could mean any number of things. Hey, Foz, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. I am looking forward to seeing what aggressively managing the ban list means. It's something I've hoped for. It's something that I've wanted out of Modern for a while, so I'm excited to see what that means for a new format. I was playing the Esper Reanimator deck and stole an Oven with Agent and then proceeded to sack and reanimate agents with Oven over and over again in Kenrith. That's great. That's fantastic. Kenny's a good guy. Can't wait to get Subtle Wreckage. You and me both. We are not using the energy part of Attune with Aether. We're basically just playing Attune with the Aether as a... we're using it as a 1-mana spell that also fixes our mana. Oh, I guess we technically have Aether Hub as a rainbow land. So kinda. The answer to your question is kinda. Grab a blue source here so we can cast these cantrips without spending energy on Aether Hub. So Aether Hub, for people not familiar, is a land that when it comes into play, it makes an energy, and it always taps for colorless mana, but it taps to pay an energy to make a mana of any color. So it's a pseudo rainbow land. Why main deck Veil? Because the person that sent me this deck list had main deck Veil in it. Why wouldn't I run Traverse in my deck that has Aether Hub and also has no creatures in it? I don't know. Why should I run Traverse in my deck that has no creatures in it and also has Aether Hub? Please, please enlighten me. I would love a Dig Through Time. Have you ever cast a Dig Through Time before, chat? If you've never cast a Dig Through Time before, 10 out of 10 would highly recommend. And I'm going to keep this opt because the opt fuels the Dig Through Time here. We opt to dig. We dig to opt to dig to opt. We're playing both, Brad. Yes is the answer to your question. I think I'm gonna dig now. Well, they only have Spell Pierce up. We could get Spell Pierce here, but like, they're probably always gonna have Spell Pierce up. Fantastic. All right, Jeskai Ascendancy. Strategic planning. I could take Spell Pierce here to try and force it through. Like, should we just assume they're on counter spells? I think I'm gonna assume they're on counter spells and take these two. Hey, good morning, Cajun guy. This is actually a little scary because it could bounce all of our lands. They're struggling to hit their land drops, though. Actually, I want to wait on this, right? Because this will untap my lands. I am Jeff, and I dig time. Digging through time. This doesn't untap my lands, right? No, yeah, I don't want to float mana, because this doesn't untap my lands yet. I want this to resolve first. I have no idea, Ferpsy. I feel good, do 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 do. I knew that we would not, do 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 do. It feels good, like we knew that it would not, do 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 do. Be do 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 do. Do 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 do. Have I mentioned that I love casting Dig Through Time, chat? I feel like I haven't mentioned that I love casting Dig Through Time. That was great. Opponent had a slow start there. Like they fumbled. They fumbled a little bit to start this game. This is a concession lockup. I think this is a concession lockup. Maybe. Is it just a regular lockup? I can't tell. I don't know what's going on, but Moto is currently frozen. Un moment. We might... Dig Through Time might have caused a crash. Dig Through Time might have caused a crash. These people are great. Buy their stuff. My opponent hasn't conceded yet, so I'm going to cast Dig Through Time again. Because I basically live to cast Dig Through Time, chat. It's the entire reason I exist as a human being. I feel completed. I feel complete. Can one truly dig through enough time? Listen, Pioneer's the only format where you can register 4 dig through times, so it's definitely the best format ever created. Anybody who tells you otherwise is like, I'm just trying to find another Spell Pierce, so that way if they have something silly, I can have a couple of Spell Pierces. It doesn't really matter though, does it? Probably doesn't. Hey, Chobo, thanks for the sub gift team. Remember that time we cast all of our dig through times in the same turn? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I mean, I thoroughly enjoy casting the card dig through time. And I got to cast 4 of them this turn, so like, you know, pretty decent. All right, they're all 9/9s. Let's go. Go to work. All right, so that was a turn 6 kill. And like, you know, when you like think about like what's okay and what's not okay, like turn 6 kills are like super in line with what should be okay, right? Like if combo, in my opinion, an ideal format for this format looks like combo kills somewhere between turns 5 and 7. I think that's ideal. The aggro, in my opinion, aggro decks should be the fastest decks in a format. So like that was sweet and powerful, but it was also slow, right? That's the takeaway. It was sweet and powerful, but it's also slow. I want to point out we have Pioneer PTQ starting in a week. This might be our only chance to play stuff like Dig Through Time and Events. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, anyone who tells you they like this format with certainty, like, is kind of silly. Like, we would know with certainty what this format actually is. We are doing swell, Kid Martin. We are enjoying exploring something new and exciting. I'm a time traveler and the format's great. Who knew? Oh no, Doctor Who is here. Bottom and Ascendancy? No, I might have to play these Ascendancies through counterspells. Just like having Ascendancies to jam here sounds great. This is a little bit scary. Like, this is gonna kill us like relatively quickly here. All right. First banner restricted out for Pioneer, over under 2.5 cards. I think I'd take the under on that. I hope they don't ban a ton of cards at once. Small bannings can have big impacts. So we've not played against Scales yet. The only thing we played against twice is Energy, but we played against Teamer and Sultai Energy, so kind of 2 different decks. I'm an astronaut from the future and Dig Through Time is not okay. I don't believe you. I believe that you're an astronaut from the future, but I don't believe you that Dig Through Time is not okay. I think Dig Through Time's probably okay. You're not wrong, Brosator. Regazu, thanks for the 10 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. The only way this format fails me if they ban Dig Through Time before I get to cast it. 2 weeks for the cards to arrive in the mail. All right. I think we're dead, right? Like any shock kills us next turn. We're also dead to just triple spell, right? Like any shock kills us and triple spell to bring back the Arclights kill us. Thrill, yep. Scale of 1 to dead, where are we at? I already sold all those for a profit. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Whenever you cast a blue, black, or red spell, you gain a life. Yeah, I don't think I have anything here really to bring in. I'm just going to run it back. Just got the fries. I have my playset of Jeff's side anticipates. God bless. When did I get into MTG fights? I had one exploration of it, and we bailed out after. It was not. That's not true. I made money on MTG Finance on 2 separate occasions. Matt and I bought into hanger back walkers for $1, and we sold them for like $20 a piece. And what else did we do? I bought a bunch of Allosaurus riders for like dollars and sold them for like 5s and 6s. So like, that's not terrible. All right, we've got Anticipate. We've got a Spell Pierce. We got a Sylvan Awakening. So we just need to find our way into a Jeskai Ascendancy here. We'll lead on a Stomping Ground tapped and go Sanctum and Anticipate on 2. What did I do with all that wealth? I believe it paid for diapers and formula. If I recall correctly. Kids are not cheap. Just like we drew it up, chat. Just like we drew it up. Invested in younger generations. Never buy new baby clothes. I hope you know that. Reuse shops are great. Never buy new clothes for children. They're gonna grow out of them way too quickly. Opt is perfect. Because we want a 1-mana spell to get started after we do this. Yeah, if they tap out next turn, we could turn 4 them potentially. God, there's no Force of Negation in this format either. That's so great. I hate Force of Will and Force of Negation. They're miserable cards. Just want to like know that my spell's gonna resolve. Can I write off infant purchases as donations? I don't think so. Yeah, it's like buying clothes for children is like renting clothes. It's very accurate. Yeah, my wife came back from Kid to Kid with 7 outfits. She told me it cost $14. I told her that's where we're going from now on. Yep. All right. Alrighty then. Cue the carnival music, chat. Do 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 boop 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 do 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 do. Let's do the untap again. Are y'all ready to go digging? Are y'all ready to go digging through time? Got some propane to sell you because this deck is gas, chat. It is gasoline. Gonna check out some of my options here. Good, clean, turn 4 kill on the play. Cast your dig through times while you can, chat. They're not long for this world. Get your digs cast while you can, chat. So there's the bar, chat. Can your brew interact with or kill this deck before it does that? That's the line. That's the line. Is you need to interact or do something before that happens to you. Yeah, playing matches this morning has really made me realize it's not that I really can't stomach Magic Online anymore. It's that, like, Magic Online even crashed during this league and didn't faze me. It's Modern really blows, huh? And that's the case, right? It's just like Modern really blows. Like, And that's as someone who's like, Modern was my favorite format for a long time, it makes me kind of sad to say that, but like, it is not aged well. The format is very rancid. I don't think Pod was the beginning of the end. In my opinion, Modern has gotten steadily worse since they banned Splinter Twin, was the tipping point for me. Modern has no room for jank anymore, and this format's gonna be all jank for a while. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm over here looking at my pile of Eidolon of the Great Revel, and I'm smiling. All right, this is the race, chat, right? Opponent plans to race us. We're looking for our awakening at this point, right? Gotta go fast, chat. Beep beep, beep beep, zoom zoom, zoom zoom, zoom zoom zoom. Yeah, zoom zoom zoom. What if they made the decision to cut off Modern right before? You mean like remove sets from Modern? I think that would be very silly. If you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. Gotta go, zoom zoom. Blip, blip. I think we're gonna lose this race here. We have some copies of what's it called? Fiery Impulse in our deck that we can dig through here. Nobody's died of Terry yet, so that's nice. Successful morning. Yeah, so the component version of Stream Decker is currently broken. So because there's no overlay for this application, I put Stream Decker on overlay mode so it works today. So we've got that going for us at least. Fiery Impulse is great. All right, I mean, we technically need that land, right? Okay, if we draw an untapped, if we don't die and we draw an untapped land, we can do the thing next turn. Or a 1-mana spell that doesn't need a target. All right. Hit me, dealer. Hit me, dealer. Everybody says. Don't do it to me, Shuffler. Don't do me dirty. Oh, no. Shuffler. Shuffler. Shuffler confirmed flat. Yeah, we could draw it off the loot, right? We could draw it off. I think we're dead next turn, right? We gotta YOLO it. I think we gotta YOLO it. One last shot is the chance to roll. This opportunity comes once in a match time. You better lose yourself in the Jeskai Ascendancy. I couldn't do it, chat. We tried to improv and it didn't roll off the tongue. It didn't roll off the tongue. So, any untapped land, opt, Veil of Summer, or Attune with the Aether lets us do it. Woohoo! Puppy! Puppy! Gotta shoot your shot, chat. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. 100% of the shots you never take, you miss. Trigger. So this untaps our lands. We're gonna not loot because both the cards in our hand are good. We're gonna go grab a land out of our deck. Now these things are indestructible. You can fit so much indestructible into these bad mamma jammas. Is this what never not having it feels like? It is in fact what never not having it feels like. And it's wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, they are indestructible and have haste. All right. Clarion sounds great. God-Pharaoh's Faithful sounds wonderful. Veil of Summer sounds medium. And then, is it crazy to trim a dig through time? We probably don't have time to draw 2 of this card, right? I spend my shillings like I spend my time spamming nonsense. Good morning, troll. Yeah, it is weird seeing standard legal cards on Magic Online. It's almost like you're in the wrong program. You're not supposed to be here. I think I'm supposed to keep this. It's like medium sketch having Aether Hub and no Attune and no blue source, but like I've got Fiery Impulse to like stem the bleeding. You do accrue shillings on mobile. You do accrue shillings on mobile. If we're gonna do Pioneer, I feel like I should write a soundboard app so I can play sound effects for commonly played Pioneer cards so we can have the immersive experience. I need to get like a Stream Decker set up with a soundboard attached to it so that way we can have sound effects for the different cards. What's your intuition telling you about the fundamental turn on Pioneer? Watching other people play, it's looking like Pioneer is going to be either a 4.5 or a 5.5 format for that pivotal you're dead turn, which I think is a good spot. I think if the combo decks and aggro decks are killing you on turns 4 to 5, that's an okay place for the format to be. Modern's in a bad spot because Modern's essentially a turn 2.5 format, which is too fast. No, I think Standard's like a 5.5 format. Somewhere around there. Although you could argue turn 3-ness, we've killed people a ton on turn 4. No, we haven't, Burgle. So I know I killed on 4 lands last game, but last game was a turn 5 kill. I've been keeping track. We've been killing on turns 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6 are the turns we've been killing. Well, that's awkward. I was hoping to hit a blue source or an Attune with the Aether. Yeah, the turn 4s are rare. I agree. Yikes. All right, so we're probably going to die to our mana this game. Which is, that was a risk we took while keeping this hand. I think that's fine. I think I'd keep the hand again. I think my keep was reasonable. Yeah, we used up all our cumulative variance on hitting our out last game, so, gotta cool off here. I think this deck will still be good if Dig gets banned. Yeah, probably. I also don't know if Dig needs to be banned necessarily. I would be kind of surprised if that's the case. I guess I'm getting punished here for not playing the Stomping Ground last turn. So like, if I die exactly next turn, if I sequence my lands better here, I could be 2 life higher. So if they kill me for Exactsies and I would have lived on 2, I could have won this game. Because we're going to get set up to kill them on 6 next turn. We could very well die here, right? Like they're flashing back a shock, so that's 4, 5. So if they have double shock, we're dead. Okay, I'm at 4. You have Exquisite Firecraft? You do not. All right. And they don't have green mana, so they can't interact with this. Awake, my children. Awake. Come, smash. Bolt is not legal. Watsy, my one wish is an eternal format without fast mana. Evil Genie, yes, but you have to play it on Moto. I do, Burgle. I actually tweeted that. I feel like I got monkey pawed. Like, I thought Historic was gonna be this format that finally didn't have the nonsense in it. I was excited to play it on Arena, and then they were like, all right, Jeff, you can finally have everything you've always wanted, but Magic Online. So this hand doesn't have either of our combo pieces in it, and the mana kind of sucks, so I think we're gonna mulligan here. Okay, yep. Keep. Ditch a dig. Would you consider playing this in paper? I don't really have any large intentions of playing paper anytime soon. That's not true. I think I might play a Nerd Rage event next month. We'll see though. Maybe. Backup dig. Sign me up. Yeah, I agree, Big Daddy. So, next month, Nerd Rage actually has 2 tournaments in November because the dates are kind of weird. So there's a Nerd Rage November 2nd, and there's a Nerd Rage tournament November 30th. The 2nd is a standard tournament, and the 30th is a team tournament. Which, if the MCQ goes well this weekend, I might show up for their standard tournament if I can find cards. Of course, finding $300 worth of Okos is not going to be easy. Nice Spell Pierce. Cast 1 mana Cryptic Command. The title does still have red-green command. Thank you. Pay for Spell Pierce? Nah, brah. Ain't about that life. Second blue. Sign me up. Go. Hot take, Veil of Summer should not have been printed. I think Veil of Summer is largely to blame for a lot of the issues Standard currently has. You think team events drop Legacy for Pioneer? I think the team tournaments that are being run by smart TOs will drop Legacy for Pioneer. Or honestly, they might drop Standard for Pioneer. I think that could be a real thing. Do I play around Spell Pierce Chew the Electric Boogaloo? I don't think I do. I think with the second dig in my hand, I don't. Standard is not popular. Even when Standard is what I consider to be a good format, it is not popular compared to non-rotating formats. Yeah, WotC run team tournaments won't drop Standard. I could see like NRG series events or like SCG events dropping Standard realistically though. I don't think that's out of the question. I mean, you can say Modern's not fun at all right now till you're blue in the face, but like at the end of the day, the facts say that Modern is the most popular non-rotating format Magic has ever had. Like, I know a lot of people who watch this stream agree with me that Modern's kind of medium right now, but Modern is incredibly popular. People show up time and time again. It puts butts in the seats. Competitive format. Popular, competitive format. Commander is not a competitive format. I'm talking Grand Prix, Opens, Classics, 5Ks, Players Tour events. All right, if they have another Abrupt Decay, we're in a lot of trouble here. Hey, Trax, thanks for the host. Deprive, disallow, whatever this card is. Spell activated or triggered ability. Yeah, that's hot. If Pioneer takes off and Modern doesn't improve, no, I don't think so, Big Daddy. Legacy people don't have Legacy cards. They don't. Look at the number of Legacy tournaments and look at their player counts. Like, again, I think people who are here who are saying Modern is awful and it's not popular, you're biased. Regardless of what we think the play quality of Modern is incredibly popular. Again, most popular competitive Magic tournament format ever, not particularly close. I will say this, and this could just be the decks that we're playing too. I appreciate the rate that these games are clipping along at in this format. Like we're 2 hours live and we're already, 3 matches into our second league. Which is nice. I hope Brawl will get a support on Arena. It would be, to put on my liability hat for a moment, it would be incredibly idiotic if Wizards doesn't roll back their 1 day a week Brawl support. I can't believe they're not. In my opinion, the 1 day a week Brawl support is worse than trying to get 2-for-1 wildcards out of Historic. I can't believe there's not more people upset about that. All right, Veil of Summer sounds great. I don't know what Hushbringer's doing this sideboard. I kind of feel like I wish I had some Devout Decrees for this matchup. That could be a card we can think about playing. I definitely want all my Veils. I want my Monastery Mentors to diversify my threat selection a little bit. Some number of Spell Pierces and Fiery Impulses probably go. Like, Fiery Impulse has a small window where it's good. Maybe I just cut all the Spell Pierces because I can't pierce Abrupt Decay. And, piercing their Pierce is going to be kind of medium. And, when Impulse is bad, I can loot through it, probably. I have invested into Modern heavily. It paid for my car. Can play Brawl, whatever. I don't like playing it. Can play basically whatever, and I don't like playing it. Yikes. Yep. We at least get direct. Yeah, you can play. I mean, there's going to be a direct challenge for Brawl. Oh, this is for Copycat. That makes sense. For Copycat, it makes sense. It's also, okay against Burn, I guess, in his lifelink. We still have Trophy. Maybe. These games are also going to go long on average a lot of the time, I think. And games that are going long, Spell Pierce has diminishing returns. Pioneer's been fun so far. Exploring, something I want to make abundantly clear is exploring new formats is basically always fun for me personally, at least. And this is the biggest standard rotation ever, essentially. Hey, here's a question. Is Celestial Purge legal in this format? Does anybody know what set was that in? Does anybody know offhand, is Celestial Purge legal? Yeah, this is kind of like Modern rotation. No, it was last printed at M12. Yeah, that's going to be... It's not legal. Yeah, according to Scryfall, not legal. I believe Scryfall. Scryfall is a good source. Is Veil of Summer still 7 tickets? It's 6 tickets. I think. We could get Spell Pierce off of this. Rude. Dude, look at this silly opponent playing Disruption. The fair interactive deck giving our combo deck a run for its money. That's just rude. Yeah, casual Magic with the modern legal sets is a great game. Casual Magic is great in general. Interaction is allowed to be faster than combat. It's very rude. I agree. All right, I'm going to top this, I think, because I want to get to a point where I can cast this Dig Through Time. There's 3 cards in my bin already. Are there any sweepers in this format? Supreme Verdict is legal, and then 5 mana sweepers. Yeah, Devout Decree is worse than Celestial Purge for sure. But Purge also isn't legal, so. Gosh, our mana is awkward here. Alright, so I'm doing this during their upkeep. Because this way, if they have a counterspell, they have to spend mana on their turn. Of course, they did play Disallow or whatever it was called last turn, so maybe I didn't want to do that. All right, so I can't currently cast this card. So I think I have to take this and then take Attune with the Aether. And I feel like that just resolving there is like a thumbs up that my opponent doesn't currently have a counterspell, which feels good for me. They feel like if they had a counter, they're countering Dig Through Time, right? Yeah, that's true. They could have drawn it for the turn. That's fair. They drowned us in the lock, chat. So they had a counter, but it just couldn't counter Dig Through Time. Okay. All right, I'm picking up what you're putting out. Oh, I should have opted in response. I could have hit Veil. Second Ascendancy is like actually pretty okay because it means I can just run the first one out now. Glub. Wow, opponent rolled back the Liliana to hit. Whoa, they just picked up a Gear Hulk. Opponent's deck is sweet. That was a fat caster mage for people who blinked and missed it. All right, so we really want to draw Veil of Summer next turn, or just a cantrip to dig for it. There are a couple of Sultai variations waiting to be played in the queue. There are a huge slew of different Pioneer decks in the queue. Giant slew of them. I'm doing 3 today and 3 tomorrow. I might do some more Pioneer Saturday after the MCQ. All right, so we know they have Fat Caster Mage. So I'm going to start by playing Jeskai Ascendancy and see where we go from there. All right, so at this point, we're looking for Veil of Summer, right? Because they have Drown in the lock. Dig Through Time would also be good. This is game 2. We're currently down a game. What donations would it take to get you to play more Pioneer today instead of Standard? $100 bills. It is, I can't get more cards than for 3 decks at a time, and it's tough to swap cards out on Magic Online. And MTGO Traders was having some stock issues. Like, I had to track down Brazen Borrowers through bots today. I also kind of need to practice Standard for the event this weekend. They have Veil of Summer of their own. That's interesting. One of the rental services had said that they were experiencing 100x their normal load right now. And my MTGO Traders person that I talked to said that this was busier than a new set release for them. Yeah, I have a desk that goes up and down, so I split my time sitting and standing. Yeah, we have 3 Oko decks today. All 3 of the standard decks we're playing today have Oko in them. In fact, one of the decks we're playing today, the viewer submitted it without Oko, and I splashed Oko into it because there was no reason not to splash Oko into it. All right, well, we're dead next turn, so, you know, YOLO. I assume we're getting counterspelled. I mean, nobody reasonable is going to tell you Eternal formats are not popular. Eternal formats are wildly popular. They just don't exist on Magic Arena. Like, even though, like, 1,400 is, like, a good viewer count for Magic Online, like, keep in mind, like, I've hit 2,000 people the last couple of times we've played Arena, right? So, like, in my experience, good format on Magic Online still has less content viewers than bad standard format on Magic Arena, just because Arena and Standard are just that much more accessible. No, I wouldn't have a land at that point, Dale, because I'd have to loot the lands away to have 2 spells in my hand. All right, we're 2-1. We won 2 races against aggressive decks, and we got beat up by a mid-range deck. That seems fine. Mana's a little bit awkward, but I got a strategic planning here. So one of the things that I like to call out people who say things that are untrue, and I think this idea that MTGO is harder to follow is some nonsense. The reason why Arena is easier to follow for people is because you've played Magic Arena, you're familiar with all the cards, and there's an overlay. The reasons why Magic Arena is more viewer friendly has nothing to do with things Arena actually does, and has to do with third-party software and user familiarity. People often mistake being familiar with something for that thing being user friendly. That's in reality not really the case. Like, that thing isn't actually user friendly, it's just you're familiar with it. Yeah, the overlay goes miles and miles. It's funny, I actually had someone complain last week that the text was too small. I had someone say that the reason Arena was easier to follow was because the text was too small on the Magic Online cards. And, like, Arena cards literally don't have any text on them. Does Moto have an API? No, it doesn't exist, dude. Light. There's no log file. That's a turn 3 5/5. That's a big boy. That's a big boy. Am I just playing Jeskai Ascendancy? I feel like I am, but I also feel like we're gonna die. If we draw Sylvan Awakening next turn, we can do the thing. My friends and I went turn 1 Emery, turn 2 cast JC, Mox Amber, go Infinite. How do you cast Emery on 1? What's the other 0-mana artifact? Like Ornithopter or Memnite? Are those legal? Ornithopter's legal. I mean, to be fair, Arena doesn't actually have an API either. Arena has a text log file. In Arena, the cards are larger and the text is easier. There's not text! God, get out of here. Look at, I like how we talk about that and then someone literally says the same lie. Like we point out that this is a lie and why it's a lie. And then someone just like that's peak interacting in 2019. Like you point out why something's wrong and you're specific and talk about why it's wrong. And then someone says that exact same thing. And you're just like, ah. Twitch chat, get a Twitch chat. Who's surprised that it was a non-sub? Let's just ban them. Let's just ban them instead of timing them out. You don't give me money and you do something that stupid, you can get out of here. You don't need a second try. All right, Natural Slate sounds great. Destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted mana cost 3 or less. Deafening Clarion, probably not good enough. It's probably a this isn't Trump's Twitter account quote, you're not wrong. Do we just assume they're gonna have like abrupt decays and trophies post board? I feel like I should. They probably have thought seizes in their 75 too. So I'm gonna bring in the Veils. Let's give this a go. I'd be able to read the tiny text better if I was timed out. Yep. This is our second deck of the day, Matt. We start, I go live about 2 hours prior. We are in match 4 of our second league. Currently 2-1 with this deck, down a game in the 4th match. Does Hushbringer stop the 1/1 counters? It does not. All of those creatures enter the battlefield with the counters. They don't trigger after they enter play. Sure, but that's not there. Like, I can zoom on these cards too. The text is also there when I zoom in on the cards here too. Like, I can make them bigger here just like I can make them on Arena. Can I get a timeout to go check Arena for text? Sure, but that's not... It's viewer pleasing, but it's not friendly in the fact that you understand what's going on. Arena doesn't actually communicate board states better than Magic Online does. I think I'm gonna go Aether Hub on 1, put Unbridled Growth on it. Feel wrong? I can't hear you right now, so just give me 2 big thumbs up if you read this and it amuses you. Pioneer, Memekin and Pioneer can play Magmatic Insight, 10 pingers, and Young Pyromancer. Yes, it can, Marty. Standard cut the lines are $50, Beansy. And standard, it's easy to do cut the lines for because I have all the cards. I don't have to track them down. Arena is nicer if you don't read the cards anyways, which is 90% of the player base. Yeah, and like playing standard on Arena, there's less to have memorized, right? Like you don't need to know all of these cards. You're just like you don't need to look up the cards like you do in formats like this, especially ones that are brand new, because you're just familiar with what they do. Honestly, at the end of the day, the 2 biggest upsides to Arena, in my opinion, are the auto tapper and the auto tapper and the overlay. Those are the two things. Like, it's not even the fancy effects that get me. It's I wish there was an auto tapper. I wish there was an overlay so people could mouse over cards that they don't read without having to look them up elsewhere. The speed at which you are able to play the games on Arena is just huge because of the auto tapper. Even when the auto tapper is bad and you have to double check, it's still faster. Now, if they have natural state of their own here, my Veil can't protect from that. We are dying relatively quickly here. They get to pump this up for 2 every turn. Come on. Come on. Interact with me, Daddy. Play that sweet, sweet interaction so I can play this Veil of Summer. Yeah, they turn 1 scales both games, but like their follow-up post scales this game was kind of medium, right? The 2 best aspects of Arena, and one is one WotC didn't even develop. Yep, you're not wrong. Frantic with the tip. From a viewer perspective, MTGO with Arena. Yeah, your viewer perspective is wrong. That's another thing that, like, I really hate that happens in We Live in a Society chat, where, like, Beansy doling out some sub-gifties. Blue-green self-mill it is. We'll start off the standard portion today with that. I appreciate the support. Welcome to our new members of Hoaglandia. To finish my rant, something that happens in our society fairly frequently these days is when you point out something that's objectively wrong. You're like, I'm sorry, 2 plus 2 is always 4 in a base 10 system. And the idiot that told you 2 plus 2 is 5 is like, whoa, bro. 2 plus 2 is 5 is like just my opinion, man. And all opinions are valid. You gotta respect my opinion. It's like, no, I don't, you idiot. 2 plus 2 is not 5 in a base 10 system. You're just wrong. That's not how this works. I'm speaking my truth. Yeah, it's total nonsense. I'm gonna float a colored mana off of this before I sack the growth and draw a card here. I'm gonna go ahead and Fiery Impulse the Serpent. So I'm aware of my base, so I make sure to say 2 plus 2 is 4 in a base 10 system, because otherwise somebody's gonna push their glasses up and be like, actually, Jeff, when we're working base 3, 2 plus 2 is not 4. Am I natural slating them? I think I'm natural slating them. I'm gonna ditch this growth. Oh, look! There's a combo piece, chat. And we pretty much, like, always want to loot with this deck because, you want to fill the graveyard for dig through time. Guilty as charged. Duress. Well, that's rude. I love you, never change. Thanks, J. Kirk. Two plus 2 is flat. Vaccines cause flat earthers in a base 10 system. Oh, no. Listen, I want to make my stance on vaccines very clear, chat. Vaccines are awful. Vaccines cause adults. And if you met adults, you want more adults in the world, chat? If you vaccinate the children, they turn into adults. We can't, that's not acceptable. Good morning, Asaria. It's an epidemic. The vaccines are causing adults. Uh-oh, they've got one more card in hand. That's scary. Oh my god, I didn't know where you were going with that. My heart dropped for a second, but it turns out I love you. I do what I can. I aim to please. Yeah, I'm gonna opt DOT because we wanna dig for another Sylvan Awakening. I've never heard that before. Thanks for the morning last. I do what I can. I do what I can because I care. Maybe I'm supposed to keep a blue land. I think I'm actually going to keep this Attune with the Aether because it lets me dig through time. I do still have Mythgard codes. Apparently the codes don't expire until their game update tomorrow. So Mythgard's going to have a patch tomorrow, and that's when those codes stop working. So if you're interested in a Mythgard code, you can still drop me a DM, and I can hook you up. Oh, I should have tapped this, right? So I could dig without spending an energy. Yeah, whatever. I've seen adults in their natural habitat, and it's not pretty. Hey, Jeff, I'm sure you've answered this question a dozen times, so I'm sorry for making you feel like a high school teacher. What do you consider to be effective ways to tackle a standard format where Oko's running rampant? You should play your own Okos. The only thing that can beat a bad guy with an Oko is a good guy with an Oko. We talked about this on stream a good bit yesterday. The reason why the Oko decks are so oppressive is because normally you could go under decks like the Oko decks, but Goose, Wicked Wolf, and Oko mean you can't aggro them out. And normally you could also attack those decks with efficient removal like Noxious Grasp and Murderous Rider, but Noxious Grasp and Murderous Rider all get countered for 1 mana with Veil of Summer. So that's also not a reasonable way to attack it from. How much to give you a deck, and offline you tell me the correct mana base? I'd be happy to help with your mana base. You should post in Discord. I'm sure other people in Discord would be happy to help too. I also would like the asterisk that in this new format, I definitely don't know all of the this is strictly optimal or not to have in your mana base. Man, swing and a miss. We hit another dig through time though. I guess digging into dig is like a pseudo hit. When our graveyard has 10 cards in it still. I think Deathrite is going to be strong. I would be surprised if Deathrite Shaman is overbearing, but I do think there's a chance that Deathrite Shaman is just like playable. All right, so now I have to ask myself the question, what are the odds I die next turn? The odds I die next turn are incredibly low, right? Especially with natural state drawn. I'm going to take natural state, and I'm going to take an Unbridled Growth here. And then next turn, I can go Sylvan Awakening, growth to untap my lands. They go to kill my Ascendancy. I protect it with Veil of Summer, kill them. I'm going to natural state this here because if their last 3 cards are land, Walking Ballista, Hardened Scales, they could kill us. Perhaps more correct to stack the triggers so untap happens after the loot. Sure. It doesn't really matter. There's no madness cards in these decks, so that doesn't actually matter. Oh, we can kill the scales. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's a build our own adventure book from here. Oh, how do we get through their blockers? I guess I have to loot into some fiery impulses. Yeah, there's removal in our deck, chat. So we're gonna have to like find our way into it, but please remember, if you're gonna offer feedback on a deck that we're playing, you need to be constructive and specific. And when I say that, what I mean by constructive, this is indestructible, right? Yeah. What I mean by constructive and specific, I mean you need to say why the card's good, what we should replace, and why we should replace it. I think I might bin the second Ascendancy. They're out of cards at this point. So I guess if they're out of cards, I could bin the Veil of Summer. It's a little medium. Kind of wishing I would have taken the other dig through time now. Oh, they played a black card. Yeah, they definitely shouldn't have cast that Fatal Push. Yeah, good call. So we need 2 removal spells, which we have in our deck, and we're gonna get to draw an incredible number of cards here. So like, they should be dead. Well, I guess I could theoretically run out of cards. That's possible, right? Oh, I have to choose Dig Through Time or Fiery Impulse. I guess having a single crash through would let us get through in a spot like this, huh? I'm gonna stop looting. There's only 19 cards in my deck. All right, there's 2 removal spells. So I need to find... Need to find 1 more removal spell then. I got rid of the strategic planning, even though it looks at a lot of cards, because I didn't want to mill out. Maybe that's wrong. Why dig over Cruise? Did you just see that dig that I cast? Like, think about if that dig I just cast is Treasure Cruise. The right dig is much better than Treasure Cruise in decks that can cast it. The right cards are worth a lot more than just bulk cards. All right, so that's lethal, right? So we go Fiery Impulse. Fiery Impulse. Good thing there's no mana burn. This deck would be harder to play if there was mana burn. That's for sure. All right, so they're taking 24. They have no cards in their hand. Right? They block 3, 0 cards. We could probably also get to a point where like just one of these is lethal. What is mana burn? So long time ago in a galaxy far away when Naboo was under an attack, the mana that was floating in your pool that you didn't use used to deal 1 damage to you when you changed phases. So you would take 1 damage for every extra floating mana, which was real awkward. Do I want Deafening Clarion here? This deck is definitely highlighting what we talked about yesterday with Moto, making Magic feel worse to play than in paper because it's so rigid. Yeah, definitely. Any provision on playing a Maze's End deck? I have no idea if that sounds probably too slow. Remember, you also got that Prime icon next to your name, Baron, which gives you a free sub every month. I don't think I want Clarion. I think I wanted just the impulses and the natural states. This looks like a pretty easy mulligan. Good Hearthstone hand, bad Magic hand. This is fine. Has all our combo pieces in it. I'm gonna bottom a Growth here, I think. No problem, Raptor. Hope you enjoy your Mythgard. What do subs do with shillings? You can highlight your messages, you can modify an emote, and you can also save up a pile of shillings to bump decks in the queue. For 10,000, 30,000, and 50,000, you can bump decks in the queue for varying amounts. Colorful messages, indeed. Great, this is a pretty aggressive start here if they have anything that follows up with 1/1 counters. Anything we want, ain't that the truth? And for people that didn't hear me, I've had a few people cash in shillings at the 10K mark. The 30K and 50K shillings give you better ratios when you bump. So it's 10K shillings. It's 10K shillings to bump a deck by 1 point, but 30K shillings lets you bump a deck by 5 points, and 50K bumps by 10. So if you save your shillings up, you get more value out of them. Ask for premium timeouts. You can also, if you're a gift sub, you can hoard your shillings because you accrue shillings at a higher rate when you're a sub, and then you can use those subs that you've saved up to chat when you're not a sub next month. Boo. Well, at least they didn't deploy a giant threat, I guess. Remember you playing a deck with Outlaws Merrimanton a while ago and having trouble locating? It was Jeskai Tempo. The deck was not very good, for spoilers. Hey, Volmanox, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having an excellent day wherever you are. So still can't quite dig through time yet. I wonder if this deck wants Sylvan Caryatid in it. I'm not unconvinced that we don't want Sylvan Caryatid. I'm gonna lose our dig through time here. Is it still garbage? It's not pretty and it's slow and it's clunky. The compliment I can give Magic Online is that it's functional. Anticipate in response to hit Veil. That's a good suggestion. So you don't kill with Caryatid, you just let Caryatid help you cycle through your deck so you can find the thing. We're gonna find a Veil here and get punished. Did not find a Veil. Okay. In fact, we found a Fiery Impulse and we can kill this. One of these snakes. Get it out of here. A Boreal Grazer sounds really silly. The fact that Sylvan Caryatid works with your Jeskai Ascendancy is a big deal. This deck's felt okay when we're goldfishing it, but these interactive matchups have felt hard. Our opponents have just kind of picked us apart. Like mix of discard spells and assassin trophies and abrupt decays. Green black. Green black is definitely the premier you want to interact colors in this format for sure. Was that a good top deck, chat? What do we think? How does it make you feel at home? I feel good. Do 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 do. I knew that I would now. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I also have this Unbridled Growth I can sacrifice because I have plenty of energy. Need to remember that that's a card I can cash in. I'm gonna play a land out and pass here, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. I don't like. They're not playing out creatures. Maybe I should have taken. I don't know. They're not playing out creatures, so I feel like they have a bunch more interaction in their hand. I feel like most decks in this format are somewhat vulnerable to interaction without access to cards like Force, Pact Negation to protect themselves. It really encourages people playing cheap, efficient interaction. Yeah, I agree. It's worth buying into Paper Pioneer now. I mean, that, like, what's worth mean to you? Like, when you say worth it, like, what does that mean? If it's only worth it to buy into a Magic format if you're going to enjoy the games that you play. So if you think you will derive joy from buying into Pioneer, then you should buy into Pioneer. If you don't think you will derive joy from doing so, then you should not. If your deck suddenly being banned will cause you financial distress, I would advise against getting into Pioneer. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I think I'm going to anticipate, because if I find a 1 mana spell, we can Ascendancy Awakening 1 mana spell. And Impulse kills their thing, so that's great. So, are they dead? I think they might be dead here. Are we going to untap from an empty board and kill them? Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. This is sick. Good old turn 7 combo kill here. And I'm not looting. Nah, I should always loot. So we can hit a dig through time. Don't need that one. And then we get to Fiery Impulse. You. Untap all of our lands. No, I don't even think we can whiff, right? Like, they have 1 blocker, and all of our things are going to be 4s. I don't think it's possible to whiff at this point. And I think there's a lot of people like you, Wiku, who, like, don't have to buy into Pioneer because they just never sold their old standard cards and they started about the time you did. And they did. All right, I mean, they had interaction that last game, but my opponent's clock was incredibly slow, right? Remember, just Disruption doesn't beat combo decks. You have to have that clock to pair with it. And good golly, is Dig Through Time a heck of a drug. I forgot how much I loved casting this card. I was incredibly sad when it got banned in Modern. It is a treat. It is a delight. We are currently 3-1. We lost to a Sultai mid-range deck. Dig is just a fun card to cast. I started playing Standard again in Innistrad and kept everything reasonable since then, so yep, I only need to pick up select cards here and there. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people like that. A lot of people who are like adults with jobs who like have spending money, the effort to sell your old cards is usually not worth the amount you get once they've rotated. In my experience, a lot of the time. Do I expect it to be banned? I don't know. It's hard to, like, turbo out Treasure Cruise and Dig in this format, and I feel like Dig's probably plenty fair in the late game. Like, Dig's not overbearing till you get to, like, turn 7, 8, 9 a lot of the time. And by the time you're getting to turn 7, 8, 9, it's time for something to be overbearing and end the game. I appreciate everybody who's here this morning for some new Pioneer content. Remember, if you're new to the channel and you're excited to see lots of Pioneer, I'm planning to play a good bit of it here. I will increase the amount of Pioneer that I'm playing on stream if the viewer count is good on Twitch and or on my YouTube videos. So everything I stream gets uploaded to my YouTube channel after the fact. I plan to do a bunch of Pioneer this week, going into this weekend, next week, and the week after. And then I'll assess from there how much we want to do moving forward. So if you enjoy this format, make sure you hang out. Check out some of the stuff after the fact if you can't be here live. Thanks for the Twitch Prime support, Lord Stormcrow. I very recently sent out a subscriber survey at the end of last month. I'm probably going to send out another subscriber survey a little bit sooner than I usually do to gauge interest in Pioneer. Because my last survey, we were asking about Historic because we thought that would be a thing. The sub-survey will also have some weight too. So I'll put a lot of weight into the sub-survey as well. The only thing missing for Pioneer is Delver Secrets, but I guess there's other 1/1s that never do anything for that. Ain't that the truth? Pioneer is going to kill modern content. On this channel, Pioneer is definitely going to kill modern content. To be fair, though, I was planning on killing modern content on this channel before Pioneer existed, to call a spade a spade. I was honestly planning on just being done with Magic Online because I really didn't enjoy playing Modern and Legacy content isn't popular at all. But like, if this is fun, I'm happy to play Magic Online for a fun format. The survey will go out via email probably in like 2.5 weeks or so. If you're someone who still has a Modern deck in the queue, those Modern decks are not going to just get forgotten. I'm planning to do 2 Modern decks per week still until the queue is empty. But once the queue is empty, I'm not sure I'm going to take many more. You should move your sub-survey forward several weeks. Yeah, it's not an emergency sub-survey. I'm announcing right now that I'm moving it, so it's not an emergency change. It's a typical scheduled change. It is still my turn, however, we're waiting on my opponent to respond, and their clock is currently ticking down. While we're waiting for my opponent to come back, I'm going to give this person their cards back that lent them to me. What's the survey? Usually every quarter I send out a Twitch survey, a Google form survey to all of my Twitch subs. And normally I wait till the end of the quarter, but with adding some Mythgard to my schedule and Pioneer popping up, I think it's reasonable to do one before waiting 3 months again. Face Masker, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate you dropping off that Prime. Yeah, I want to put this over here. Do I take non-competitive decks? I do not. My queue, if you look at the deck queue on my website, I think there's currently like 50 decks in my queue, so I stay pretty full just focusing on competitive stuff. You are quite the businessman. Not many Twitch streamers have gotten it done like you do. Thanks, Hawking. This is Twitch. Twitch is very generous to allow this to be my job, and I treat it with the respect and time commitment that a full-time job should deserve. Would appreciate your opinion. If I ran Arena, I would add sets blacks to evolve Historic into Pioneer. I mean, like, sure. In a perfect world, that's what would happen. In a world where I can't play Arena for more than 2 hours without it lagging and crashing, like, That's probably not a realistic possibility. Elvish Rejuvenator. All right, you've piqued my interest. Oko is potent in literally every format. Thanks for the 2 years, G-Goat. Oko won the Vintage Challenge last weekend, if I'm remembering correctly. Siege Rhinos are coming, yep. The mountain is enchanted with Unbridled Growth. This allows my land to tap for mana of any color, and I can sacrifice this to draw a card. Is that other one not legal? The one we play, I assume it's not legal because Nivik plays Modern JAC. What's the other one called? Does anybody know the green enchantment? It's from Abundant Growth. Yeah, Abundant Growth was an Innistrad block. So even though they could have Assassin's Trophy or Abrupt Decay here, I'm playing this out because I don't have any way in sight to interact with that, and getting cards into my bin fuels my dig through time. So like, I just kind of have to play through their disruption here. Innistrad block is not legal in Historic or Pioneer, whatever this format's called. MTGO overlay come and when? Probably never. We do need another blue source here, I guess. Oh, that's not strictly true. Unbridled Growth does it. Are we sad Innistrad block wasn't included in Pioneer? Do we think that was a good decision? I think that was probably a good decision. Taking Snapcaster Mage and Liliana out of the format, I think, is a good idea. How'd the Atarka deck go? Nice and smorky. Hot knife through butter. We played all 5 matches, and I think we were done in like an hour. Seemed like a good deck if you were interested in farming these leagues. I played less than perfectly, and we 3-2'd very easily. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Thought Scour and Faithless Looting. No Thought Scour. Yeah. I think not including Innistrad block's an incredibly good decision. Hey, Talvest CC, thanks for sticking on. I think that's an incredibly good decision. So many birds. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Kalitas. Yep. Have we determined what peak Pioneer is yet? We've not. All right, so we can dig through time at the end of their turn by floating blue and then sacking the growth to put the 4th card in our bin. Yeah, I agree. Dig through time and Treasure Cruise don't have a chance if Thought Scour is legal. So happy to not have those cards be legal to potentially make Dig okay. Because Dig is a fun card to cast. If something is a modern staple, does that make it a Pioneer paperclip? Have you seen Pod Combo for Vanafear? I have not. It's not something I've looked at. Hey, thanks for the 5 months. It's almost like Innistrad blocked is one of the most powerful blocks ever. You're not wrong. It definitely pushed the envelope. Come on, opponent. The fact that there's no punishment for just, like, walking away on Moto is so annoying. If WotC did that on purpose, they probably don't want to ban the double cards. Yeah, I'm hoping, Big Daddy. We beat a heroic deck while playing the what's it called deck this morning? The prowess deck. I just got the entering maintenance message on Arena. Yep, there's an update today. Their MSI file is not posted yet. Usually it goes up about 10 o'clock. All right, so I actually kind of want to land here, right? And Sylvan Awakening is a combo piece, so we'll take Attune with the Aether plus that. And then their clock is pretty slow here. So we're going to be looking to find a Jeskai Ascendancy, and then ideally we're also going to be looking for one of our main deck copies of Veil of Summer to protect it the turn we go off. Is there any chance a Turbo Fog deck can come together in Pioneer? I hope anyone who's thinking about playing Turbo Fog dies in Pioneer dies to Questing Beast over and over and over again, because that's what you deserve for playing Turbo Fog. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks for the great content. I've watched you on YouTube for a long time. I like how honest you are, and you helped me become a better Magic player. And in general, so I wanted to say thanks. Thanks for keeping me around, Shepard. I'm glad you enjoy the stuff. Tell us how you really feel. Bone Crusher is also ready for Turbo Fog. Just stomp those fools. Yeah, I think Bone Crusher and Murderous Rider are probably incredibly good in this format. The adventure creatures are very powerful. Oh yeah, Wild Slash does it in too, right? And Wild Slash is the best shock in this format. You feel that way about Fog, but clearly Bogles is fine. Maybe. Hey, Flock. Thanks for redeeming that. Hider, thanks for doling out some sub-gifties. Hope you're having a good one. Skullcrack. Yeah, there's a lot of good tools to play through. Thinking about all of the cards that host Turbo Fog, I don't think that can be a deck in this format. Can we bump up Niv? Yeah, definitely. Which Niv, Hider? Modern Niv or Pioneer Niv? I'm expecting Mono Red to be tier 1 in Pioneer. I bet Mono Red will have a splash, but yeah, some kind of red aggressive deck should be good. This opponent is taking forever, and their clock's counting down, so... How much are Pioneer submissions right now? I'm currently only taking Pioneer submissions for 25 or more. Because there's a pretty chunky backlog. Modern Niv sounds good. Will do. As a heads up, the next day I'm planning to do Modern on stream is next Friday, so a week from tomorrow. My first 4 Moto days next week are going to be all Pioneer. The Big Red sounds good, MF. A couple other people, no one else has been able to. I'm interested to see if the MFs have something wrong with their interface. This is definitely the most we've had for an MTGO stream in years since Arena dropped. Bottoming that. We're looking for Veil of Summer and Jeskai Ascendancy here, just to remind people who might have dozed off while our opponent was taking their good sweet time. Yeah, I posted an article at one point talking about how to set up OSX or MTGO and OSX under Wine using Docker. This kind of hurts because these other cards go to the bin. So like binning a JAC here feels real bad. Right, Evil Moss? I think I'm just double spell piercing here. Really want to draw Veil of Summer next turn. But an interesting take on the relationship between Historic and Pioneer. That Pioneer is how they will choose the individual cards to put into Historic. Maybe. I think the very real, and this is pure speculation, so like I don't have any inside information, I don't talk to people that work at WotC or anything like that, but like I would assume that Historic is just this throwaway thing that they don't really want to exist on Arena, and that like the team that created Pioneer and the team that engineered Historic having to exist are just completely separate and weren't communicating with each other. From an outside looking in perspective, it seems like there's a lot of issues with different departments at Wizards not communicating with each other. Yeah, the individual cards to be put into Historic was announced that was no longer the plan on one of their post announcements where they got rid of the 2-for-1 wild cards. I think I'm just gonna kill this. I think there's a good chance they have an Abrupt Decay or a trophy in their hand, so I don't just want to play the Ascendancy out. I think I just want to go ahead and kill their threat. That's an Obnixilis reignited. This was my boy in Standard, chat. This Obnix and I, we go way back. All right, well now I'm playing this out because with Obnix, they're likely to draw a discard spell, so I'm just gonna hope they don't have a thing, and then we can kill them next turn. I see the deck list for your previous deck. You can find the deck queue on my website. You can also open my generic Stream Decker page. Reading some bones. I think adding specific cards to Historic is good for Historic. I disagree with you. I think new cards that make formats exciting is what makes Magic worth playing. You're out of basic lands. Feels dead, man. Yeah, there's going to be a lot to explore in the vein of these green-black mid-range decks. Figure out exactly what they want to be doing. I think I want to bring in Monastery Mentor to increase threat density here. I think I'm going to trim Fiery Impulse. We didn't really see anything that this killed, right? There's like Elvish Reclaimer. And I think I want Spell Pierce because they have a lot of expensive clunky spells. We could have killed Obnix with Awakening last turn, right? Yeah, I guess. That's just like, that's not a winning line, that's a like treading water line. They're on my website in the deck queue. You can also try and find all of my previous decks on my Stream Decker page here. I like getting new cards Historic in theory, but I'm not confident that the curated cards would do well given recent events. Guess what, chat? If the cards that they put in make the format worse, they can ban the cards, chat. I feel there's this really idiotic mindset, I feel, among Magic players that every time a card gets banned, it's some kind of utter failure. And I don't think that's true. I think banning cards on occasion is even borderline good. If you're not failing occasionally, you're not innovating enough. If Wizards is occasionally banning cards, that means they're pushing the envelope on what can be done with those cards. And I get it that like you end up in situations with like the current standard format or modern that kind of suck, but I also think you could easily make those formats not suck and be much better if they would just manage them more aggressively with the ban list. If they would just ban more things, they could fix it. Like, I liked that they pushed in standard with a lot of these really powerful cards, but they also need to be able to rein it back in accordingly and not wait forever to do it. Do you have a preferred flavor of Oko I plan to play this weekend? I think I'm leaning towards playing the 4-color Oven deck. Although the blue-green Self-Mill deck is also like, I'm between 4-color Oven and Self-Mill. Kinda, so like, saying that just refunding wildcards is an easy solution ignores the fact that metagame changes impact a variety of things. So, for example, like when they banned Field of the Dead in Standard, they effectively rendered Temur Oko unplayable, right? So they didn't ban the Temur Oko deck, but everyone who had invested in that deck is basically out of deck to play because they banned it. So, like, there's more subtlety to that. So I get that bans can have a negative impact, but in my opinion, keeping formats healthy and engaging is more important than that downside that happens on occasion. I think it would have been a mistake to ban Oko. I think it was unnecessary to ban Oko. I also think Oko's a new sweet card, and we don't need to remove the new sweet card. Then you could very easily make Standard more bearable by banning things like Nissa or 1-mana accelerants or lots of other things. 4-color Oven is red-black Oven. No, it's different. It's a different, functionally different deck. Voice of Resurgence. Is this a format where Voice of Resurgence is playable? Is this a format where Voice of Resurgence is playable, chat? So we're casting Dig Through Time right now because I don't want to give my opponent an elemental on their turn. It's no modern, ain't that the truth? All right, Jeskai Ascendancy, Veil of Summer. Any order, go. Let me answer that for you, no. All I'm saying is that Voice Resurgence of Risen Reef have some major value. You're not wrong. I have a Risen Reef build around in my deck queue, so we're gonna get to that at some point. I've seen a ton of people saying Temur isn't good right now. Why? The deck plays a ton of good cards and a great amount of Planeswalkers. Because the Temur deck had specifically a good matchup against the field deck, which is now banned. And past that, the Temur deck has a very bad matchup. Thanks, Slow Future. The Temur deck has a very bad matchup against the Nissa Krasis decks, which got more powerful with the banning. So the bad matchup got better, and the good matchup got banned out of the format. That's how metagames work. Like, they didn't ban anything from the Temur deck, but it still is basically unplayable now because of how the format shifted. I like how you confront poor arguments and statements. Thanks, Sensei. Thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Where on your website can I find the 4-color Oven deck? It doesn't have a dedicated deck page currently. You, however, can find it on my YouTube channel and my Stream Decker. We've played it a number of times. There's deck lists in the video description that you can easily import for everyone on my YouTube channel. Masterminds Acquisition. Yep. Oh, you know what? I should Spell Pierce this and just tap them out. I should Spell Pierce this and just tap them out. I have Veil of Summer, so I don't think it matters. I guess they have, like, Natural State. Nah, and they don't have anything uncounterable. Like, Spell Pierce and Veil cover everything, right? Nice uncounterable card. The sunk cost fallacy says Temur Oko's still great. Oh, you know what? I think I should have Spell Pierced. I should have Spell Pierced their Abrupt Decay to get the loot. I should have Spell Pierced their Abrupt Decay to get the loot. Alright, Veil of Summer works though. Alright, so we do this. And we do this. Perfect. So they're dead. We're gonna be some clicking, but they're dead. And this is turn 6. Again, a lot of the this deck seems incredibly fair because a lot of the combo turns are happening on turns like 5, 6, 7. Which, in my opinion, is an appropriate turn to get combo killed if you're not disrupting me heavily or having a quick clock. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. And most of the time they concede before you even dig through time, which is just like, oh man, I wanted to dig through time, opponent. I wanted to dig through time, opponent. Congrats on your finish, Justice, and condolences on your loss. Our day's going swell. We're 3-1 in this league, battling for our 4-1 here, so guaranteed got our money back. We 3-2'd the last one. We've got a sweet Jeskai aggro deck coming up as the last deck today that I'm excited to play. I mean, claiming that this client is bad because you can't read the tiny words in the text boxes, then Arena must be awful, right? Because Arena doesn't have text boxes, period, on the cards. So I assume if this client's bad because the text boxes are tiny, then Arena's unplayable. Oh no, we drew another dig, chat! We drew another dig! Oh no! It's the worst possible timeline! We drew another dig! Oh no! Hopefully the rest of their hand is bad. Yeah, but like, the plugin isn't something that Arena did. The plugin is something that like people who play Arena did. Peak Pioneer, something like that. Actually, this isn't an instant, right? So I need to do this now. These strategic plannings were going to fuel our dig. Now they are not. Yeah, this is the only competitive constructed format in Magic where you can play multiple digs. They went double bottom with their Read the Bone, so that's exciting. Looking for a land. Oh, ditching Veil feels bad, but definitely need a land. Hey, Exile, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to Hooglandia. Hope you're having an excellent Thursday wherever you are. Give me something to spell pierce, baby. Cast another Read the Bones. Field of the Dead. I guess that explains the Rejuvenator. Is Tireless Tracker good without fetches? We have Fabled Passage. And like, if you're playing a Tireless Tracker deck, you're planning to get to 4 lands. So like, play Fabled Passage. I thought this card was supposed to be getting banned today, chat. Is Moto bugged? I thought they banned this card today. I think I'm leading on Monastery Mentor. Double Aether Hub, super awkward. Judge, my opponent's playing the legal card. Judge. Our hero has fallen. Well, you know. Can you still type in the opponent's timer? Yeah, of course I can type in the opponent's timer. Why wouldn't I be able to type in the opponent's timer? Of course I can type gobbledygook in their match timer. This is a release-ready product, chat. If you click on their timer, you can type in it, like a text box. And if you're someone who's a programmer, this should blow your flipping mind, because how this interface accepts text input from the user is mind-boggling. Like, there's zero reason that should have ever been set up to accept input from a user. Like, it's wild. All right, are we dead? I think we're dead. The ley lines plus our mana base caught up with us there. If they hadn't had the ley lines, the strategic plannings would have let us dig. And if we could have dug there, we could have potentially been okay. But alas, we were not. We hit the 3-2. Hey, Inti Carbon, thanks for the brand new turn sub. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having a good one. So we hit the 3-2. I don't know how. I feel like 4 Spell Pierces might be too many. I feel like I was pretty happy with most of the cards we were playing here. You make 1 treasure chest when you 3-2, so we're up $2 from each of our 3-2s. I feel like this is like the suspect spell. Honestly, with Jeskai Ascendancy being a card that lets us loot things away, this main deck Clarion might be silly too. I kind of just want to play 4 Veil of Summer in the main deck, I think, is what I'd like to do, and just like cut these Spell Pierces. I think Unbridled Growth was also excellent. We definitely lost more than a few games because our mana was awkward. So I think I'd play another Growth. Thanks for being unapologetically awesome. Thanks for keeping me around. Some Clarions in the 75 seem fine. And then like that leaves 2 slots to like play around with. Maybe Izzet Charm could be good. I feel like Izzet Charm makes Veil of Summer less awkward when we draw it and don't have a JAC. It also is a Spell Pierce and is a bad shock, so it's like some more interaction as well. So I think maybe I would try this for the main deck. The sideboards in decks in this format is like all guesswork. Yeah, Abundant Growth is not legal. Nagging Thoughts. I don't think that card's legal. Innistrad Block's not legal. Right? This is Avacyn Restored, right? If this card was legal, we'd play it. So there's gonna be a lot of people suggesting that we play illegal cards, I think. A non-zero number of mana confluence could be okay. I could see that. Oh, that's Shadows over Innistrad? Is it? Huh. Maybe this card's okay? I don't know, I guess it's only 2 cards. And like, we don't have graveyard synergies other than this. Maybe it's worth testing this over strategic planning. I don't know, I feel like I'd want to try some Izzet Charm just because like the prowess deck felt close and they could race us. But yeah, I would test some Nagging Thoughts. That seems potentially good. I would definitely play 4 Veils in the main though. I would play these Unbridled Growths. I think Mana Confluence is probably a reasonable card to try. Maybe over one of these shock lands. I don't think you want more than like 2 Mana Confluences, but a non-zero number of confluences doesn't seem unreasonable. All right, so that's gonna wrap on this one. Our last Pioneer deck of the day. My plan is to do 3 Pioneer decks today and 3 Pioneer decks tomorrow. Take my Sub Virginity. Also, Teamer Energy with Glorybringer is bad in Pioneer. I plan on playing it at my LGS this weekend. Atarka Red's good. So this will be our 3rd and final Pioneer deck for the day before we jump on into some Standard on Arena where they finally banned the banned card. Before we dive into this one, I'm going to go ahead and update the title and all that jazz. We're going to take a quick ad break. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. We got some sweet Jeskai